This video is sponsored by FlexiSpot, more about them later in the video. Starfield's mods community might not be as big as that of Skyrim or Fallout 4, but the amount of game-changing mods rolling in remains quite high, so if you are still playing this game or plan to get back to it, you will definitely want to take a look at this. So first of all, some important stuff. Two mods you really need to stabilize your game: Starfield's High Priority Launcher and Starfield Memory Fixes. The High Priority Launcher is a script extender plugin that launches Starfield with optimized CPU performance to ensure smooth gameplay, especially in heavily modded setups. It is basically just a process priority optimization. It manages background processes of your PC to make sure resources are used to their maximum, and that way improves FPS stability, reduces lag, and so on. So if you like mods, it is obviously a must. I mean, why else would you be on this video? And the Memory Fixes mod is also a plugin with the aim to reduce memory bloat and improve performance stability, especially in longer play sessions. It is supposed to monitor and manage Starfield's memory usage more consistently, which also leads to your game running more stable and reduce possible stuttering and crashes. So it does not really give you more FPS or something, but merely ensures the highest possible stability in heavily modded setups, which is important too, of course. Okay, about the next mod. I was not sure if I should review this at all at first, but then again I reviewed one of those for Skyrim back in the day, and somehow it turned out to be one of the most watched videos I made. So let's see. SnuSnuField. Yes, now you get what I am talking about. This mod allows you to do stuff with NPCs. With any NPC actually. All you have to do is undress your character and equip something like headgear, or you can also drink alcohol instead, or you can also configure some hotkeys to do that. No matter what you do, the SnuSnu initiated message will be displayed, and then you just approach the NPC you wish to SnuSnu with and talk to them. Now I installed the Safe for Work version here, so there are only romantic animations. To switch between animations you have to talk to the NPC again. To do that it is best to go into first-person view, although with the Safe for Work version there will be only 3 animations, and to switch you can also just hit the prompt on any NPC. However, if you get the not safe for work version of this mod, oh boy, here we go. There are so many more options. Obviously the animations will be a bit more creative now. Of course you can still switch between animations by talking to the NPC, except that this time if you talk to another NPC standing nearby, they will actually join the fun. Yes, triple SnuSnu. Well, you get the idea. Lots of interesting animations here, but wait, we are not done. Far from it. How about some Necro SnuSnu? Yes, you can actually reanimate dead bodies if you activate the SnuSnu close to a corpse. I mean, wow, the things are... yeah. We are moving damn fast. This is beyond light speed, for sure. Anyway, you can also do stuff in combat. Overwhelm your enemies with your sexual energy and yeah. What the heck are we doing with our lives here? I don't know. And yes, of course there is also the Death by SnuSnu option. Couldn't go without that. Basically just start punching during the animation and your enemy shall go out having a good time. So much for that. And come to think of it, I remember people saying Starfield sucks because we can't have custom animations. Well, guess what, we totally can. And that is all possible thanks to the native animation framework and the custom command framework. But there is a catch, and a damn huge one. Those 2 mods are very outdated for a very long time now, and it is unclear if they will be ever updated again. So to be able to use those mods that rely on those 2 frameworks, you have to do this on game version 1.1470. This is the only way. So with that, Starfield has unfortunately reached the same state as Skyrim and Fallout 4. If you want certain mods to work, you need a specific game version. Unfortunately, there are no downgrader mods yet, but it can be done manually. You can just Google it, or you can also just get a specific game version by other means. everything is possible. And there is another interesting mod that falls into the same category, Moods of Andromas. This is basically a poser mod. You can execute it by clicking on an actor and then using this console command here, and then you can also switch between poses with arrow keys. There are actually a lot of poses included. They do look like they were mostly designed for female characters, but whatever. I mean, at least me and Sam are going to look fabulous now, so expect many sus thumbnails in the future, folks. Since Starfield has very few poses in its integrated photo mode, this mod is obviously very cool. But again, all this only works on this specific game version thanks to its dependency on those framework mods. So I really hope that Starfield's modding community will get bigger and more active in the future. This stuff definitely has potential, and it would be sad if those framework mods get abandoned. Next we are going to take a look at some companion improvement mods, but first let me sit down and take a little break. You know, this chair is very comfortable, and it makes me think of this video's sponsor, FlexiSpot. Are you looking for a perfect gaming chair? Nope, that's not it. This is what peak performance looks like. FlexiSpot is a fantastic furniture shop to buy standing desks, chairs, couches, and even beds. They sent us this Lotus recliner rocking chair for testing, and let me tell you, it did rock our world. It came in 2 boxes and was pre-assembled for the most part, so it took less than 10 minutes to set it up. It is spinnable 360 degree, has a side compartment for accessories, and can be used for relaxing, gaming. The rocking motion is great too, and can be used for other things as well. Yep, we tried it out. It can be used for sleeping too, by the way. The sleeping mode can be deployed by pulling a lever on the side, and let me just tell you, it is super comfortable overall. So if you are interested in getting this Lotus chair or something else from FlexiSpot, you are in luck, because with the ongoing Black Friday sale there are huge discounts you can get with price reductions up to 50% if you are fast enough. Don't miss this opportunity and grab the hottest deals now. Enjoy your life comfortably with FlexiSpot. Okay, let's continue. So, Upgraded Companions is the name of the next mod, and what it does is actually many different things. Mostly companion dialogues are being overhauled here. For example, when the companions give you gifts, they will do it automatically. It is no longer needed to engage in dialogue. Companions will also no longer bother you with their thoughts each time you complete a major quest line. You can delay that conversation as much as you wish. This mod also fixes some anger dialogue, prevents companions that are engaged in romance with you from using their friendship dialogue, and so on. This mod, however, also lifts some limitations that are placed on companions by default. They will be able to follow you into the lock and the Scorpius, and also have some dialogue there. There are also several new Game Plus changes, like being able to reset companion progression and so on. And there are also several direct dialogue changes, like some restored dialogue that has been cut from the game. Well, I'm not gonna list every single one change here, but yes, this mod is quite extensive. And another little immersion mod for companions is Bunk Assignment Clipboards. This mod adds new decorational items, which however also have a very practical function. Tired of everybody sleeping in your beds? Mark it as the captain's bed with this, so people will know where not to piss. And of course you can also assign a bed to each of your companions, so everybody will have their own bed and sleep only there. And speaking of immersion, here are a couple of mods that allow you, as the player, to do things you previously couldn't. Usable animation markers allows you to interact with certain objects just like NPCs do. You will be able to see and interact with those previously invisible NPC markers and use them. The markers, or more like the interaction prompt, will be visible, but it can be a bit hard to find them. You can actually use the scanner for that makes things much easier. You can also see where NPCs are and doing some stuff. Well, sometimes the NPCs will of course be in the way and need to be persuaded to leave, if you know what I mean. So yeah, it is a fun little mod. There is also a similar mod called Use NPC Animations. This one is for interacting with regular objects like chairs, but instead of the regular sitting animation, you will get an NPC-specific animation. There will actually be 2 button prompts, meaning if you choose as NPC, you will get animations that so far only the NPCs were able to use. That also includes things like consuming food, drinks and so on. For the food option you have to use this misc item though, and activate the force food option. Ah, there we go. Now we consume! Why do NPCs get all the fun stuff and we don't? Is this some kind of digital versus human avatar discrimination? Organic lives matter! We want to be able to consume digital food just like the digital folks do. Well, now we kinda can, so... Anyway, next we are going to add some new exploration stuff. Permanent POIs is a series of mods that adds new points of interest locations, like the Darkness Beckons. 35 new locations with some new enemies, bosses and unique items you can get. Well, this thing is, those locations are actually not that brand new. This modder just used points of interest from the game files, because apparently there are a lot of locations you very rarely get to see. Considering how big this game is, so many people never even see those at all. So this modder copy-pasted them to fixed locations and added some new enemies and loot, even some new factions which you can witness fight each other sometimes. There is also the permanent POIs Evil Beyond that adds 30 more hostile locations, also with lots of enemies and loot. And also the permanent POIs Rogue Science with another research outpost based points of interest, 16 new locations this time, of course also with enemies, weapons and even some background lore. So altogether really a nice bunch of adventures you can stumble into on your space exploration. Next, it's time to arm ourselves a bit. The weapon mod for this episode is the AR-X15, a futuristic version of the AR rifle. Very fast reload animations on this one, I have to say. There is also a nice amount of attachments you can use and swap out. As for armors, this time we got the KZ Meridian Transit Regalia. This is actually quite lore-friendly stuff. What we get here is a bunch of constellation-themed outfits and spacesuits, even including the trademark Chronomark watch. That's a total tongue breaker. So the spacesuits and outfits are not that far from the original, but they certainly look way more sleek and fancy. And now that we are geared, we shall go exploring. Well, not really. This time we are actually just going to revisit some locations. Heart of Cydonia, for example, is a very cool expansion for this colony on Mars. This mod has the aim to improve the Cydonia colony and make it look and feel more alive. It is best to also run this alongside the Winds of Cydonia mod. This is basically an exterior and interior overhaul of the atmosphere. You will get to experience a more realistic, dusty and sandy feel in the air, which also kinda makes it feel like a classic sci-fi scenario, very fitting for Mars. The Heart of Cydonia mod, on the other hand, just adds new stuff, like a whole new area, a separate underground location where people can go to shop and relax. Cydonia is supposed to be like a big functional city, and this expansion sure makes that easy to believe. The best thing is, this is supposed to be just the first step, and the author actually plans to add even more locations, NPCs and possible activities in the future, so Mars is supposed to become a really big deal. And the same goes for Akila, with Akila City Rises, an expansion with new assets like whole new buildings, vegetation and pathways. The most noticeable change is that there is now a small river running through the city, making this location more logical to build a city on, although it looks like the townsfolk decided to use it as a dump instead. And just like with Cydonia, we also get an extra mod here called Winds of Akila. This actually does a lot of small changes and additions, from adding some immersive clutter to the streets to changing the atmosphere to make it look more urban and gritty, everything with the aim to make this little city seem more realistic and believable. And this is it for this episode. Links to all mods are as always in the description below. Don't forget to endorse the mods you like, and make sure to hit the like button and subscribe for more. I thank you all for watching, and see you around.